Hey everyone, we're going to go through the player profile tutorial. This Feel free to pause or stop this at any moment to catch up. We're going to try to make this real quick. The goal, we're trying to organize all your information, contact, academic, soccer, start thinking about references and how we want to collect those. And then the main goal is to format and develop a player profile. And at the end, we're going to teach you how to send an email to college coaches using a simple template. But what you need to start, so right now, grab something to write with or something to take notes with or type on, whether that's Word or Excel or PowerPoint. But I think it needs to be said that it is hard to play college soccer. So a lot of places say, hey, there's a place for everyone, but in reality, there's not. Only 5 to 7% of boys or girls soccer players that are playing high school soccer are gonna go into college to play. So the question remains, how will you get noticed? And there's different ways, and what we think have some ideas of some ways you can enhance your brand and your profile. So some of the initial steps, very simply, first, what do you need? You need your contact information. So put the name on the admission application or team roster that you're using. So if you're going to apply as Michael Johnson, but everyone calls you Mike Johnson, maybe include Michael/Mike Johnson on there. Have an appropriate email. We've talked about this in years past. Something that has your name, your last name, maybe your birth year or your graduation year. And then an email account, the best way to reach you, whether that's through mom or dad, but more than likely it's going to be your own phone number. And then I think it's important to list your hometown, because sometimes there's going to be scholarship opportunities or different circumstances that maybe you're applying to a certain school and they have scholarships for individual Indiana counties. So those things are important to have. You need to have that down. Type this down, or jot this down, because we're going to use it for each step. The next thing you need is your high school, your academic details. Can you spell out the school? CNHS means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. While it may only mean Columbus North High School to you, to the coach that's living in a different part of the Midwest, that could be Central Noble High School. Spell it out and then put the hometown and the state that it's in. I always liked it when players put their class of and then the number instead of just the number. So put your graduation year on there. If your GPA, your class rank, and your test scores are good, I would put those on there. If they're not where you want them to be, I'd leave them off. Eventually you're going to be found out, but we want to make sure that you have every opportunity to get seen and noticed as possible. And then you need your high school soccer details. Again, spell out the high school and then list your head coach's name and his or her contact information. Put your position and your jersey number for that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into the club soccer details. So spell out your name fully. Don't put CESC. There's a club in Columbus, Ohio called Columbus Express. There's another club called Classic Eagles. They go by CESC. So Columbus Express, 04 boys blue, 04 girls orange, spell it out. I don't think the gender matters so much, but definitely put 04 if it's blue or if it's orange or whatever. Include your coach's name, and spell it out, and then their email and their contact info. If you're using anything as far as Express goes, feel free to use me as a reference. We'll talk about references in a little bit, but there's my contact info. And then as always, put your position and your jersey number. Now, as we talk about references are essentially who will vouch for you, someone that can give feedback as a player or student. Realize that these people, they need to be honest. They need to not sell you short, but they also need to not overhype you. So high school coaches, your club team coaches, directors, if you use a personal trainer or somebody that trains maybe some different athletes in some different areas and they've had some success with putting kids into college, I think that's a great reference. Any other soccer references, maybe it's a state director, an ODP coach or something like that. former soccer alumni, maybe some kids that played soccer at your high school that played for the specific college you're looking at. And then your athletic directors, they can be a good resource for all the years of experience that they've had putting athletes into college. Okay, and realize your reference will be honest. Make sure you're always asking your reference if they can be a reference. Okay, 99% of the time they're going to say yes, but ask, because they may say, hey man, you can't play at that school, or I know exactly what type of player that they're looking for, and I think you'd be perfect, let me help. Okay, inform them of the schools you're pursuing for those very reasons. All right, and I think it's important to note, a college coach, their job is winning. They want to have good kids that are going to help them win games and keep their program in a positive light with college administration. The club coach, we have a professional relationship with college coaches. We're trying to help you guys, but we can't send a bad egg over there. So if we send a kid and we say, this kid's a really hard worker and he does this, and this, and then you show up to preseason unfit, they're not going to take many kids from us anymore, and now our reputations are sullied. So make sure that you know that it's going to be honest. So a typical assessment, I give usually 4 to 5 positive points, and then 1 to 2 points for things they can improve. And then I always give a character assessment. I think I try to rate their potential, where I see them in the future college game, and then the progress that they've made over the past few years. Just like the other ways we format it, references, format it in this organized manner. You know, the team, the reference name, their role or their relationship, email, and phone number. So now we're going to get into starting to build the resume. So what do you put on your resume, or what's going to be your player profile? All right, so any athletic honors, so all conference, if you're a captain, if you want a mental attitude award, list those. Any statistics, if you are an outside back and you don't have a lot of goals or assists, put how many games you started in or appeared in. Goals, assists, shutouts, saves, those things are all good. If you've been a varsity letter winner, list how many times you've been a varsity letter winner. And then any team honors, so if they've won a sectional or a championship or they won the conference, list that. And then I always listed the other sports or honors, because I think it's important. Like for me personally, I was very built on being able to run by people and be able to get in behind back lines. So it was important for me to list, hey, I ran varsity track and here were my times. So the coaches could say, yeah, he's got pace, or he's got speed, or hey, we see this, or hey, this player plays varsity basketball throughout the year. And she's a really good soccer player. What's going to happen when she plays soccer only? Your academic honors, any awards you've won, honor roll or individual awards, any groups or clubs that you're in, or any activities. I think it's important to list these things because they can enhance your ability to possibly get scholarship dollars from other user groups. And then any extracurriculars, I put those as optional, but if you're trying to get into a faith-based school, it's really important that you put your church activity on there, or any volunteer opportunities. The more you put on there, the more it's going to help you with scholarships and opportunities, but realize that this player profile is soccer specific, so we're trying to just keep it mostly to one page, soccer specific items. So some examples, varsity soccer, varsity track, club track, so you have, or club soccer, you have your athletic honors there. I put the years in parentheses. And then you have your academic honors to show that maybe this has happened numerous times. Honor roll, I've had it 3 years. And then extracurriculars, a Boys and Girls Club volunteer. The schedule, what you need to include in your schedule, you have to have the date and time. I think it's important to have the event name and then the teams playing. On this, I didn't spell out the entire name of the other team, but on your schedule, I think you should do that in case a coach is looking at specific players on that team. Then they get an email from you, oh, I can go watch 4 kids in this game. Location, put the field name, or the location name, the field name, and then always try to link an address so that they can click it and figure out where the heck Columbus, Indiana is. As we get into content, right? Content is just what you can present. So I think the first thing you have to do, you have to have a headshot, something that's easily recognizable, a photo of your face so they know exactly who you are. Optional could be an action shot, but then the main content we want to start producing is, can we get some full match video, video unedited of your team playing, the highlight video, an edited video with highlights 3 to 4 minutes long, and then link these things to your Instagrams, your Twitter, your YouTube, or Facebook. But clean these profiles up. Some of you guys retweet stuff or forward things on Instagram that you shouldn't be doing. Here's an example of a Instagram account that's done really well specifically for soccer. We have a headshot, we have the full name in the handle, we have the grad year in the handle, and then the club name with the jersey number, the high school with the grad year, and then the YouTube link attached to the intro. The top 6 posts, she's got 2 game highlights, 2 training highlights, an honor, and then just a regular soccer photo. So this is a specific soccer account that she has. She has her personal account with their friends and her funny stuff or whatever, but then she has this soccer account. One thing that you can do to enhance your video or your highlights is put an introduction page, something with a close-up of you, maybe your club logo. This took me 2 minutes to make. Okay, I made it in Keynote for Mac, and threw in a background, took away some of the background for the photo, added logos, things like that. Have your info, the coach's info. Here's a simple one we made for Jamison Hale a couple seasons ago. Started out at the beginning of the page, had some visuals, has his contact info, pretty easy and legible to read. So now let's get into the actual player profile. So this is a really simple format. This was, I have one that I did. It's just based off of some things for me. This is a contact info. It's got my name, my number, my email, phone number, a headshot from 10 years ago, academic honors, so GPA, class rank, and then I added the high school soccer honors, and then the club soccer honors. And what I did with the club soccer honors is I put the Express website link, and then I also put the Got Soccer link. You could do the same thing with your varsity soccer. Maybe you link it to Max Preps or Huddle. That would be a good opportunity to show some more that coaches can click on. But my Got Soccer link I think is important because it shows your schedule, it shows who you've played, maybe some past results, but it also shows some other kids on your roster. And then I have my content, video of full matches, highlight videos, and then I note in the highlight when it was last updated. This was updated February 1st, 2019. Then I put my schedule, so my upcoming matches. If I really wanted to knock this out of the park, I would have linked the map to exactly the location on there. So where it says Grand Park, Westfield, Indiana, you would click that and it would have a map that would open up the Grand Park's field map or their location. Okay, and then I list my references. So these are just two easy examples. Doesn't take you a lot of time. You can get as creative as you want and church these up. But this was very simple. I made these both in Google Doc. What I would do different is I would save them as a PDF and then just share them on my Google Drive and post that link everywhere that I'm sending people messages so that they can open that. They can open that PDF and it's not going to get wonky. It's not going to shift the fonts. It's always going to show basically as a picture, but with clickable links. Now, we start getting into making the contact and emailing coaches. Some of this is redundant from years past, but still, put your name and your school's name in the subject or your club name or the university you're going to. I would even add your grad year. Send an individual email with detail. Mention some of the programs that you'd like to pursue. Use proper punctuation. And then include all the game details, your jersey number, the coach, the kickoff time. And if you have any connections to the school, maybe you're interested in being an engineer at Rose-Hulman because my uncle went there. Or, hey, I played with so-and-so who starts on your women's team. Include that connection in the email. Anything you can do to chunk yourself with other bits of information, the better. things that are going to get your email deleted, putting the wrong school or the coach, leaving out specific information like your grad year or what your team name is, or sending the same email to every coach. Don't blind carbon copy every coach at the event. Maybe afterwards you could do that and just say, hey, I'd like to thank you for attending the game. I really appreciate it. And then leaving out details such as the game location and your jersey number. And by no means should you be using informal language that you would text people with. Here's a very simple template. Your name, your school, and the subject. I would add the grad year. So Jane Doe, maybe put my club team Columbus Express, 04 Orange, 2021. Okay. Dear Coach, my name is my name, my club, my year of school, where I go to high school, and I'm interested in playing for you. I attended your game, so something personalized. My uncle went to school there. I played with some of your people. I think that the style that you play would be good for me if you've actually watched them play. Put a little part about academics and maybe some of your soccer honors. Then can we add our content? Attaches my player profile. Here's my video links. And then your schedule. You try to link those. The more tech savvy you can be, the better. And then I'd be thrilled if you come out. Here's my coach's contact. Feel free to reach out to him. Thank you. With a signature. And in the signature, it has your name, your number, your team, and your contact info. So some of your next steps. Think first of all, you need to use your resources. So ask coaches about the program. So you may not know anything about the level of play at a certain school, but you're really interested in going there. I've had kids say, hey, I really want to play soccer at Ball State. And I said, well, buddy, I hate to break it to you, but they don't have a men's team at Ball State. They only have a girls team. So make sure that you're asking your coaches, check and see, like, hey, do you think this is a good fit for me? Sometimes it's going to be like, no, you can't play there. They're really, really good. Their recruiting's probably already completed. Or, yeah, that would be a great fit. Let me see what I can do to help out. Okay? Ask players that you may know that are playing college soccer. Hey, I saw that you guys played Missouri S&T. I'm kind of interested in going there. What do you think about them? Hey, man, they have a cool campus. I really like their field. They're a really good team. They kind of play like this. Oh, cool. Do you think I could play there? Yeah, I think you'd be a good fit. Okay? And then do some research on your own. Look at the bios of the teams. Look at the coaches. How long has the coach been there? Is the coach winning? Have they had 6 or 7 consecutive losing seasons? If that's the case, that coach may not be there in a couple of seasons. Are they successful? What are the results against? Hey, I know some players that play at this school, and they beat them 4-0. Man, they must be really good. Okay? And then can you look at the tuition cost and the acceptance rate and the location? You may say, I really want to go to Stanford, but you look at the acceptance rate and you have a 2.7 GPA. You're probably not getting in. Or I really would like to go to this school, until you see what the tuition costs. Saying, well, if I'm not going to get a full scholarship, I don't know if I can afford there. But also, where do you want to be location-wise? You want to be close to home? Do you want to be far away? Do you want to be in a certain climate or a certain city? These are things that really matter and can help you narrow down your search, but also can help you decide what type of school you want or do not want. So your next steps, build your profile. You need to be doing this. This should take less than a couple hours to do. Get it done. Use a format. Get creative. Use a resume template. Then start creating and organizing your content. Some of you are not going to have video. Some of you are. Part of it is just going to be going through and picking out what are the best clips. If you're not sure, send your clips to your coach. Your coach will watch it and he'll say, this is really good, or hey, can you minimize this, or can you edit this, or put this to the front? And then collaborate with your coaches. Tell them, these are the schools I'm reaching out to. Do you mind sending out a message? Your coach would be more than happy to. I would be more than happy to. I just need to know where you're interested in going. And then researching your schools and opportunities. Lastly, you need to contact these coaches. But have most of these things done before you start doing that. We don't want you sending out content that's not ready to go. We don't want you embarrassing yourself, sending out a video of you juggling in the backyard to one of the top soccer schools in the country. Make sure that you're organized and you have everything in order, and then let's start contacting them. I think it's really easy to send out your player profile and send out your schedule and invite coaches to games, but we got to have that little extra, and we got to make sure that we're ready to go and we're ready for the level we need to be. Okay. So as always, these are going to be available online. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out.